every emotion you bring to this sacred space. You are welcome here. So come, join us with open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands. Together we embark on this journey of community and connection together. You are welcome here today. Everyone's encouraged to engage with our soul work materials found on the bookshelf at the rear of the sanctuary. Many folks of all ages find that busy hands make for a calm body and a focused mind. As I tell my clients, that's true. As we settle in, please remember to silence any electronic devices. If you're new here, we're glad you found us, so glad, and hope that in this community you may experience the warmth and love of this congregation. If you'd like to learn more about us, you can find our newcomer form by scanning QR code in your order service. We invite you to pick up a welcome bag from the credenza at the back of the church. These slips are at the end of the pews in the baskets. It's our joy and sorrow slips. If you have something you would like to add to that, to either be read or shared anonymously, you can hand those in when we do the offertory baskets around, and Reverend Lynn will take care of those. Please take note of the announcements printed in your order service. You can also scan the QR code to see the full list of announcements in this week's newsletter. And finally, you are invited to fill out, I said that, didn't I? And now we invite the music of the choir to draw us deeper into this moment as we enter into worship together.
Good morning. Welcome. My name is Lynn Hopkins. It is my honor to serve this congregation as its interim minister as we gather here on the land of the Choctaw and Quapaw people. I'd like to invite you into this hour of worship this morning with words from the poet Mary Oliver. Of course, for each of us, there is the daily life. Let us live it gesture by gesture. When we cut the ripe melon, should we not give it thanks? And should we not thank the knife also? We do not live in a simple world. Please join me in speaking aloud our words of chalice lighting printed in your order of service. We light this chalice for the challenge of freedom, the goal of equality, and the warmth of community. May all who gather here offer and find the blessings of acceptance, loving kindness, and a grateful heart. If you will, rise as you are willing and able and join together in singing number 101 in the gray hymnal, Abide With Me.
Good morning, friends. I am Jessica Lakeman. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as your Director of Lifespan Faith Development. So this morning, I want to tell you about something that happened in a classroom recently. I was like, is this mic kind of hot to anybody else? Okay. So one morning, a teacher walked in and saw two kids arguing over a box of markers. Now it's off. So we need a little more than this. It's in and out. It's going to be what it is. It's a good thing I have a theater degree. It's fine. Who needs a mic? YouTube needs a mic. It's fine. So a teacher comes into a classroom, two kids arguing over a box of markers, right? One kid says, "Those are mine." "No, I was using them." "No." The teacher watches for a moment and then said something surprising. She said, "Do you know what the most important thing in this classroom is?" The kids kind of stopped. That was not what they were expecting. And they think, and they kind of look around. I don't know, is it the markers? Is it the books? Is it the whiteboard? The teacher shook their head. "The most important thing in this classroom," they said, "is what each of you bring to it that no one else can." The kids looked confused. So the teacher said, "Let's make a list." So one kiddo said, "I bring good ideas." Another one said, "I like to help people with math." "I like to make people laugh." "I'm good at noticing when someone is sad," said another. And pretty soon they realized something amazing. The classroom wasn't special because of the stuff that was in it. It wasn't about the fidgets or the best books on the shelf. It was special because of what each of them brought to it. Their kindness, curiosity, hopefulness, laughter, listening. And when all of those things showed up together, the classroom became a really special place to be. So now I want to ask all of you something. When you came to church today, what did you bring? Anybody bring patience? Anybody? I had to use it this morning. How about some energy? I don't know, it was kind of a quiet crowd this morning. Thank you, I see you. Yes. Some folks brought energy this morning. How about some really good questions? Anybody? Anyone the kind of person who kind of lives with those big questions in your heart? Because this is a place where we like big questions. That's right. Oh, Lynn brought some for us if nobody else did. How about wisdom? A caring heart. Willingness to help others. So I'm going to invite you to try something with me for a moment. I want you to hold your hands out like you're holding something invisible. And I want you to think of one thing that you brought into this space this morning. Whether it is grief or laughter, openness or curiosity. What is one thing that you brought with you this morning? Does everyone have your thing? Now I want you to turn to someone near you. I know I'm going to make y'all talk to each other. I know I'm the worst. And offer someone near you that gift that you brought. Go on. Go turn. Talk to somebody new. Do y'all see what just happened? We just had a whole room of people who a minute ago were just sitting quietly looking forward, suddenly offering one another gifts. That is what happens when we show up. That is actually part of what worship is. The word comes from an old word meaning to show what something is worth. What do we give value to? So when we gather here, we're showing what matters to us. When we sing together, we show that hope matters. When we listen to stories, we show that wisdom matters. When we care for one another, we show that people matter. And every single person here makes that happen. Which is why we keep asking an important question. What do we need from each other? And what can we offer? When we bring our kindness and our courage, our care for one another, we create something sacred together. Now let us bless our young people before we send them out to their activities. Grown-ups, if you'll raise your blessing hands in the air and repeat after me. You are beloved. You are sacred. You are powerful. Go in peace.
Reading today from the Reverend Matthew Johnson. For 5,000 years or more than 250 generations, human beings have been invoking spiritual power. My predecessors and yours have gathered together to make sense of their lives and their place in the cosmos. And they have spoken aloud and invited what they conceived as sacred and powerful to be with them. They called upon the spirits of air and earth, fire and water. They called the bear and the deer. They asked for the raven to protect them. They pleaded for the heroes of old to slay the monsters of their fears. They sang songs they learned from their grandparents and moved in the appointed ways or in ways that were new but felt like the right thing to do. They imputed power to these spirits and to the memories of those heroes. They called them gods, and they were invoked. Vishnu and Kali, Elohim, Odin, and 100 million others. Every group of people everywhere. They gathered to make sense of their lives and to make sense of their place in the cosmos, and they called these spirits to be present to them. And so do we. So do we, as we gather this morning to make sense of ourselves and this universe in which we live as best we are able. And we call ourselves to worship together, and we invoke the power and wonder of life itself, that to which all those spirits of animals and memories of heroes point their way. We invoke that power which is, we know, always around, always with us, but which we sometimes forget about. We forget that we are part of the whole creation. We forget that we are stardust. We forget that we are capable of miracles, first among them that we can love. We forget these things. So we invoke the power of existence so that we can remember, so we can lift our eyes and open our ears to the true and beautiful. For 5,000 years or more, we have done this. In many tongues, in many ways we have done this, and so we continue that ancient tradition in our way and in our time as we worship together.
We now take an offering that allows us to exercise the all-important generosity of spirit and to support this church and its many ministries. Donations may be made by scanning the QR code in your printed order service. Please remember joys and sorrows slips if you want to add that. The gifts of the congregation will now be gratefully given and received.
There is this moment in our service when we pause for a time of communal prayer, an opening and intentionality of spirit. We lift up and let go the things that we carry with us through the week. Taking a stone and releasing it into the cleansing waters of our gathered community. And as you heard the invitation from Kent, you are invited to write things you would like spoken aloud at this time in our service. I want to lift up my friend Thane in Montgomery, who continues in his cancer treatment. I want to lift up too. The people in the Gulf, so much beyond comprehension, let alone words, the suffering in this time. And those with power in this nation, may they find wisdom somehow. From Sarah, my mom is on the mend from her car accident yesterday. My husband had an awesome turnout for his recent Future show and brought joy and music to many new and familiar faces, and we are praying for healing. From Amy, a sorrow, please pray for my friend Andy, who is beginning home hospice this week due to cancer. I invite you to come, if you would like, and take a stone from the bowl and release it into the cleansing waters of our gathered community. And if you are holding something that you are not ready to bring, it would be my great honor to drop a stone on your behalf if you will indicate by raising a hand. Please join me, if you would, in an attitude of prayer. As we calm our minds and open our spirits, the unity of humanity seems so distant and ideal. The possibilities of this world seem obscured by daily realities, and still we come, and still we hold out hope because we know that possibility remains, that love remains, that love transforms, that love can save us. May we be present to one another and allow others to be present to us. May we lend our faith and hope to others as they struggle to find their own, and may we lean on the faith and hope in others when we struggle ourselves. We do this together in gratitude, in faith, and in abiding love. Amen. Please join me. We remain seated as we sing. It's number 123 in the gray hymnal, Spirit of Life. I love the way Matthew Johnson talks about worship. I knew that was my reading for today when I knew where I was going, because he has a grasp on the long history, the tradition of the practice of worship, and why and how it is ingrained in the human experience, even when it really kind of seems to make not a whole lot of sense. In the age of science, in our academic, mathematical world, why do we still gather here on Sunday morning? We invoke the power, the power of spirit, of mystery, of awe, of memory. We push back against the forgetting. It's too easy to forget these sacred and eternal truths that guide us, that hold us up. It's easy to forget. The awesome power of transforming love, the healing power of justice, the redemptive power of forgiveness, the saving power of authentic presence. Our minds are not wired to remember the big things. I mean, I know this has happened to you too. You walk into a room, you need something in it. You have no idea what it was. You're in the middle of a sentence and something distracts you and you forget. And you think, I was going to ask you something, but I forgot. It must not have been that important. Wrong. Your brain is not made to remember important things. Evolution has wired your brain to notice scary things. I mean, the important things don't come to mind a whole lot unless we pause and make an effort. The love of our family, the joy of new life or of healing. These are not things that are present in the front of mind most of the time unless we stop and think, because the development of human beings in our animal history has caused us to be aware of what's surprising, what's alarming. That's how we survive. All morning I've been noticing this enormous insect on the window. It's on the outside, but I can't help but notice it. Your brain is designed to pull your attention into what is frightening or threatening, or because this is sort of a pre-conscious, a lizard brain function, it doesn't actually have to be frightening, it just has to be startling. The trouble is, well, this got us this far. It got us from our earliest of beginnings into a society of science and history and mathematics. It's not working anymore. And we have to get past it now. The millennia of natural selection did not anticipate that the only way we will make it to the next phase, which requires us to learn how to live together, despite our differences, despite our mutual fears, despite our generational hatreds and our momentary resentments. The only way we get there is to remember those big truths. Those big truths that the brain is always pushing aside in favor of the immediate. In favor of what's beeping on your phone. What's happening in traffic. What's about to happen at work. We're gonna have to remember love. It takes effort to keep that front of mind, and that's what worship is about. In this hour, we come together to say to ourselves and to each other, this right here has worth. I can't put a dollar figure on it. I will be no richer tomorrow for being here. But this has more worth than every dollar I'll ever hold. These truths are worthy above all else, above our dinner plans and the car repairs and the office politics and even national politics. These things, these values, worthy above all else. We can't help but forget in our daily busyness, whether it's exciting or drudgery. We can't help but forget it's the way your brain was wired so we practice worship. At some point in the long development of English language, we lost the TH in the middle of that because it's hard to say, but we practice worship. These are values that we agree on. Sure, we might like the same teams or the same forms of entertainment, but we might not. But these things, justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, generosity, all rooted in love, these things have worth. And this we know with certainty beyond scientific proof. We know because it is what gives our life meaning, and it is desperately important to our survival as humans, to our survival in a free society, to our endurance as a tradition of free faith, that we practice this worship so that we don't forget. I'm sorry, but it's not a thing you can do alone. There's a lot of us who identify as spiritual but not religious. We call them, in our tradition, free-range Unitarians. But the Buddhists have a saying that you need a sangha. You need a community of faith. This is not a thing you can do alone because the brain itself in its biological composition will defeat you. Worship is collective. I need to ask you something. I don't need you to answer out loud, but I am going to ask you to write it down. I warned you. In the newsletter a few weeks ago, I warned you I was going to be trying to engage you in different ways within this moment, because worship is not a spectator sport. If you want the show, there's better shows. That's not what we are here for. We come together to do this thing, but how do we stay together unless we can agree on some things? I mean, I rattled off our expressed Unitarian Universalist values ratified a short while ago in the annual General Assembly of all Unitarian Universalist congregations. That's an administrative fact. It's an administrative fact of an ecclesiastical reality. It is what Unitarian Universalism writ large says we value. And that's awesome, but it doesn't really do anything for us right here, right now. And we are right here, right now. And some of us are going to disagree, sometimes intensely. And some of us, let's get real, are going to just plain not like each other. But we got business to be about, the business of love that the world needs so desperately, and that each one of us needs as well. So I'm going to ask you, what do you need from each other? What do you come for? In order to be open and authentic, fully present and joyful together. And I'm going to ask you to be kind of specific. In every pew rack, I put some 3x5 cards. In those hymnal racks. Some of them are colors, some of them are white. I just used what I had. Mike's got more if you don't have one. And there should be writing utensils in the basket if you need. And I want to ask you to be kind of specific, but here's the catch. What you ask for others has to be what you are willing to give as well. That's covenant. Covenant. Recognizing why we are here together, how it is in the real world, how we dwell together in peace and compassion through disagreement, miscommunication, and differing priorities. For example, I need people to be willing to accept my apology when I mess up. Now, I'll accept yours. I need you to listen when I'm upset without trying to fix things or give advice unless I ask for it. And I offer that to you. I need you not to roll your eyes if I say something ridiculous. And I promise to listen without judgment. If you want me to bring cookies on Wednesday night, you got to tell me before Wednesday afternoon. And I promise to give you adequate notice when I need something from you. Real life stuff. One example, or more if you feel moved, but it doesn't matter if you think 100 other people are thinking the same thing at the same time. Actually, the more like answers, the easier it is to compile and create this covenant. We are building right now a congregational covenant. This is a practice that's sometimes done in a classroom or on a retreat. I've done this one time before. It's remarkable how much alignment there is, but also how much unexpected response. So I love this. And I'm going to ask you for those cards at the end of the service. Mike, if you could find a box or something we could put, he's got baskets. Awesome. As you leave, drop your card. If you feel like you're just not ready to give it up yet, shoot me a text. My phone number's in your order of service. Or send me an email. My email address is there too. And I don't care if you're a member. Because right now, right in this moment, you are a member of this gathered community. And if you're watching online, whether live or down the road, you're included too. Everyone who has chosen to be present with us in the name of love and justice this morning has a voice. I'm not going to make you put your names on them this time. We will have a conversation down the road a little bit about how a people in covenant do not make anonymous remarks or commentary. We don't speak anonymously, we own our voice. But I'm not going to ask you for that yet because I know it's a lot. But I certainly invite you to because I'd love to be able to talk to you as individuals about it. But here we are in this hour on this lovely, a little bit cool, overcast day, gathered in an act of worship, doing nothing productive, and doing the most important thing there is, remembering, calling our minds and our hearts back to consciousness and awareness and intentionality around what we say matters, despite all evidence to the contrary, despite all voices in dispute, despite all forces which perpetually assault these principles. We gather in worship of what matters. And the reason I'm asking you to do this, just so you know, it's not just to keep your hands busy. The reason I'm asking you to do this is when people join the congregation, they might have a very strong sense of what they're getting themselves into. But for some of us, we need it in words. I am not a visual person. I am a word-oriented person. And if I'm going to join something, I need it in words. So when folks sign that book, we need to know what we're asking them for and what we are offering them in words. And also, I've said this before, and it's so important to remember, we have a covenant because we cannot keep it. We have a covenant because we will fall short. And the covenant gives us a way to pull ourselves back together. To not just walk away because he screwed up, or because I screwed up, and so it's broken now. A covenant gives room, capacity, and mechanism for healing and atonement. So yes, it is for the new folks, and yes, it is for the public presence, the website, so people who are curious know. But also it's for us to remind ourselves and hold ourselves accountable to that which we say with certainty has worth as we worship together. Please rise as you are willing and able, and join now in singing number 20 in your gray hymnal, Be Thou My Vision.
Oh
words for extinguishing the chalice. As we extinguish this flame, may the spirit of freedom guide our actions. May equality be our constant pursuit. And may the bonds of community remain strong. May we carry the blessings of acceptance, loving kindness, and a grateful heart with us, that we may offer them to a bruised and hurting world. Thank you.
Next week, I'm going to stretch you even further. May the love that fills this space take hold of your heart and carry you in peace and courage through all the coming days as we declare the truths, the values of worth in this hurting world. Go in love.